Today I would like to review Beyond Two Souls, the game by French studio Quantic Dream. The game was originally released in 2013, as an exclusive title for PlayStation 3, and later came out on PlayStation 4 and Windows. Beyond Two Souls is a cinematic adventure game, where you play for Jodie Holmes, portrayed by famous Canadian actress Ellen Page. Starting from her very birth, Jodie is possessed by the mysterious male entity called Aiden. Aiden inhabits Jodie's body just like a second soul, being able to leave it for short periods of time to explore the surroundings. Thanks to Aiden's supernatural presence, Jodie is able to telepathically move different objects, from small plastic cups to big heavy cars. Also she can heal mortal wounds, see into the memory of the dead, and enter the bodies of other people or animals to take full control over them. To put it shortly, Jodie has superpowers of a small urban goddess, however that doesn't make her life much happier. In fact, rather the opposite. Jodie is a confused little girl who has been mistreated by her parents. Eventually, they gave up on their daughter and placed her in a scientific institution for paranormal research. It was too troublesome for them to raise a child with supernatural abilities. Jodie's new home is a scientific lab, camouflaged as a normal apartment. Yes, there is a bathroom and TV and stuff like that, but also cameras and one-way mirror. The head of the lab, Nathan Dawkins, was portrayed by another Hollywood actor, Willem Dafoe. Usually I don't approve it when developers hire famous actors for game production. It eats up the budget that can be used for more important things like better graphical design or more extended gameplay. But truth be told, Ellen Page kinda fit nicely into the whole idea of dual soul. It is well known that in 2020, 7 years after the game was released, Ellen Page claimed to be a woman no longer and introduced himself as a man called Elliot Page. You can tell that back in 2013, while still being a woman, she totally related to her Jodie Holmes character, who also had a male entity living inside of her. Most probably Elliot was already an invisible part of Ellen back in those days, just like Aiden was an invisible part of Jodie. I really like these two parallels between the game and reality. It gives Beyond Two Souls new deeper meaning. But let's return to the actual gameplay. Beyond Two Souls is full of creative ideas, and it allows player to be many different things. You will have a chance to play as a little girl, as a teen, and as a grown-up woman. As a CIA agent, as an African rebel or Chinese soldier. At certain point you will be able to play even as a horse. You can also play as Aiden, just press the triangle button to release Aiden from Jodie's body. Aiden can easily travel through the walls or ceilings and have an access to closed or restricted areas. Just remember that there is a paranormal leash that tie him to Jodie, so he is not capable of traveling far away from her body. There are 26 unique chapters in the game, and each of them is bringing something new to the table. I'll describe some of them here. You are a bored little girl, staying at home with your mother on Christmas. You have nothing better to do than play with your Barbie dolls and your imaginary friend called Aiden. Apparently Aiden is quite real and keen on making a mess and breaking things. Like many boys do. Eventually you are allowed to go out, and you sneak through the fence, to play snowballs for the first time of your life. Snowball's minigame in this chapter is one of the highlights of a whole game for me. It's really innovative and neat. Next time you play as teen Jodie invited to a birthday party. As an outcast and a shut-down kid, eventually you get bullied by other teenagers. They lock you in the closet and go on with their fun. You ask Aiden for help and he frees you. Then game let you to make a choice, either leave party or have revenge on the bullies. In fact, Beyond Two Souls is a game of choices, or paths that Jodie takes in her life. In the end of each chapter you can compare how your decisions differ from paths of other players statistically wise. That data will reveal if you are a regular Joe, or rather some weirdo who makes bad decisions. As for me, I was happy to take a path of revenge on my bullies. I was bullied a lot at school as well, so I felt a deep connection with Jodie. In a way I was truly grateful for this chapter, to be able at least virtually have revenge on my offenders. So, if just like me you were bullied as a teen, I invite you to play this game just for this chapter, where you can have your way with arrogant bullies that locked you in the closet just for laughs. In another chapter you train to be a CIA agent. This level consists of various mini-games and is quite dynamic and fun to play. Have you ever solved formulas in a video game? Well, it is a good time to start. And check this out, Elliot Page, really shines through Ellen in this minigame here. At least first glimpses of him. My next favorite chapter is called Homeless. And it is literally a homeless person simulator. You have to beg for food, dig in the trash bins, contemplate suicide, try yourself as a prostitute, steal from the supermarket, and eventually help another homeless woman to deliver a baby. And as a bonus, if you are lucky enough, you will get to hear Ellen Page performs Lost Cause by Beck. A bit depressive but still very good cover, I must say. And overall, this chapter is a small masterpiece that will most definitely challenge you emotionally. It had a long-lasting dramatic effect on me. It left me quite sad but at the same time uplifted. And this is what good games are supposed to do. When you get tired of cold winter levels, the game will have a new surprise for you. Jodie will find herself in the middle of the desert, in the land of Navajos, somewhere in Arizona or perhaps New Mexico. Again, there's a story inside a story with elements of mystery and horror. This chapter has a strong Stephen King's vibe all around it. On top of that, level looks fantastic visually and horse riding scenes are amazing. Also, it's one of the longest chapters of the game. The African Mission chapter deserves honorable mention. For a short moment, game turns into Metal Gear Solid with a flair of supernatural. There is a lot of killing and sneaking to be made. This one is probably the least linear level of the game. It allows player to move around the area more or less freely. That brings us to some flaws of the game. The actual gameplay of Beyond Two Souls of course might be improved. For instance, giving a player more control over the character definitely would not hurt. Sometimes it feels that it doesn't really matter what buttons you push, game just runs by itself. Quite often pressing a single button may trigger a long sequence of actions, in which player doesn't participate at all. This is really frustrating. At some point the gameplay is sacrificed for the sake of nice graphics and cinematic effects. All of the mentioned makes this game a bit outdated. Especially in the light of next-gen consoles where exciting gameplay and superior graphics go hand in hand. And still, Beyond Two Souls deserves more praise than bashing. It is way too original and versatile to be avoided. I also love the fact that there is a suggested love storyline in the game that can be refused by the player. Forced love storylines is one thing that I can't stand about modern industry of entertainment. There are lots of killings, suicide and animal cruelty in the game. And I can only applaud some bold story solutions that help to build an intensity of the gameplay. You have to penetrate secret Chinese base in the Arctic. But first you need to find a place to pee. Then there's a fun underwater sequence. I'm always thrilled by this type of level since I'm scared of water and totally can't swim. And then a little more of underwater adventures that would probably make Lovecraft proud. Jodie has to deal with immense rift in reality that caused villainous entities into our world. These nasty creatures look very much like Langoliers from Stephen King's story. And of course there's a little bit of saving the world, almost an obligatory feature in video games. Well, at least in Beyond Two Souls you save the world with style. And if you still ask for more, then game offers you a special exercise mode. You are given 30 minutes to advance through the chain of rooms with help of Aiden. This will serve as a test of your intellectual skills. Too bad there are only 7 rooms in this exercise. I think these minigames are a great addition to the general gameplay. And one more thing, Beyond Two Souls have a co-op mode, so it's possible to share the experience and play together with your friend or partner. If you are fond of bonus materials, then there are plenty of hidden collectibles spread all over the game map for you. Collect them all and unlock some cool exclusive content. In conclusion, Beyond Two Souls will definitely impress you, especially if you are a fan of Stephen King and that sort of fiction. Ellen Page is perfect for a role of troubled teenager and delivers a magnificent performance. The game suggests a certain replay value, since it's impossible to uncover all hidden scenarios in a single walkthrough. In order to unlock all paths that the story holds for Jodie and Aiden, each chapter can be replayed at least 2 or 3 times. Creative burst of ideas in this game indeed goes beyond any level of expectation. Where else will you be able to sit on the toilet in huge Arabic palace, while your second soul is trying to steal secret documents from the cabinet of a sheik? No other game will treat you like that. When out of the sudden you start dancing, or find yourself throwing snowballs in the middle of dramatic story with perfect visuals, you can safely tell that there's still some bright future for gaming. I guess that is all for today. I hope you have found this video helpful. Have a great day, and good luck, exploring the infinite abyss!